Hi Minister, David here. I was wondering what are some of your favourite apps or technologies that you rely on in your daily routine? Thanks, bye.
Well, some of my favourite apps include Fuel Check, because everyone loves to get the best price for their fuel, and it's real-time information. That's brilliant. Another one is Service New South Wales app. You've got the check-in feature now, where you can go into restaurants and use the QR code, which is privacy enhanced. So it's another great feature. I've got a Rinfo app, which basically measures my weight every day in a digital form, because everyone's making sourdough at home these days. So you got to keep an eye on the waistline. But some of the technology I use every day is my Sonos and my LifeX and my Google Assist, because I like having an Iron Man, Mr. Stark type approach to my house, a smart house.
My name is Joan Carlini, and my question for you, Minister, is 2020 has been a very special case with challenges at every turn. With your long history in leadership positions, is there something you've taken from this year that will change the way you lead in the future?
Well, thanks for the question, Joan. Really important question for all leaders, really, to reflect upon 2020. For me, there are two qualities that we all need to demonstrate in magnitude, and one is pace and the other one is agility. And we've seen that through the bushfires, we've seen it now in COVID, how we just don't have the luxury anymore to sit back and pontificate for years and years before driving reform. Sometimes events confront us and we have to be equally fast in our response. And we need to make this part of the new normal, because the world is going to continually change and in dramatic ways. We just can't sit back and do the BAU. We've got to adopt pace and agility as part of our new modus operandi moving forward.
Jane Spring, Assistant Commissioner, New South Wales Public Service Commission. Minister, wanting to ask what additional services have been provided by Service New South Wales to keep the community safe and well during COVID. Thank you.
Thanks, Jane, for such an important question. Too often, governments overlook and don't really take into account those that have the challenges of disability. So it's probably even more critical during times of crisis, whether it's a bushfire or COVID, to have a very fine-tuned response. So what we've done is set up a dedicated webpage, nsw.gov.au. It's a single source of truth. There you'll find a whole lot of information that will provide assistance for those with disability challenges. But just as importantly, if not more so, we've set up a hypercare team. And again, we've seen it through Service New South Wales, setting up a hypercare team in the bushfires, hypercare team in response to COVID, because there is always complex problems that just doesn't have a simple solution. So setting up a hypercare team will provide a tailored solution to those that have that need. And then the third thing I just want to speak about is the challenges in relation to being mentally healthy. It is very obvious now that as a result of all the restrictions and all the disruption, all the dislocation, and the pain and the suffering caused by COVID, there's going to be a high demand for mentally healthy workplaces, mentally healthy tools to keep us active and engaged. And what we need to do is drive out more campaigns and more assistance. And we've done that through mentally healthy workplaces. We're doing campaigns around that, and more generally in relation to mental health, because it is one of the big icebergs, not just here in New South Wales, but right around the world that we're going to have to deal with.
Hi, my name is Gabriella D'Souza, Senior Economist at CEDA. My question for the Minister is regarding data privacy. We've seen a lot of recent attempts at data collection, like the My Health record, go pear-shaped because citizens were concerned about how their data was being kept secure by the government. Can the Minister outline any safeguards that the government is implementing to ensure trust in data security? Thank you.
Thanks for your question, Gabriella. I'm really passionate about digital transformation because it is the fastest way that we will improve lives and reduce suffering for people all around the world. But for me to be passionate about digital in a liberal democracy, I've got to be equally passionate about privacy. We can build any digital product we like, quite frankly, but we've got to build it on the basis of trust. And there are three key pillars of trust. One is privacy, Another one is security. Another one is transparency, and you wrap that around with ethics. What do we do in relation to privacy? You've got to make sure you build that into the design phase rather than as an afterthought. It means that we've got to use technology to help us improve our privacy settings, like, for example, investing in privacy enhancing technologies. We just can't use privacy as a handbrake for progress, because we need the progress to reduce the suffering and improve lives. But we should use privacy as an enabler and get technology to help us in accelerating our privacy journey. So I can assure you that we are very much focused on privacy, because that is one of the fundamental reasons fundamental freedoms that exist in a liberal democracy.